Okay, this is Christie.
You can hear him say down, though.
Yeah. Where'd it go, Ed? Can you see?
I think he's in the right rough across the fairway, but I'm not sure.
Okay, so O'Connor may still be in trouble. As we go back to D.A. Weibring at the 16th tee, the 16th, a 165-yard par 3. There are 4 par 3s, only 2 par 5s on this golf course, and that's why it's a par 70. Now,
they may
Sandy
say
Lyle.
par 70.
Yeah, for whom?
I think this is where level 4s originated. Now, he's got to play short of the Suez, doesn't he, Ed?
Yes, he does. And he has. He's just pitched down into the fairway.
Okay, laying up on the fairway, and that one we spot very easily. Short of the canal. Christie O'Connor, we don't quite have yet. The hole, 508 yards long. Doesn't sound too long for a par 5, but a few problems there, Dave.
The little fence you see down the right all the way to what is called the Suez Canal, that is out of bounds and is really barely into the right-hand rough. Tom Kite playing the same hole as this putt for a par 5.
To stay 2 behind. Sounds like a sheep somewhere. Oh, look at that. Very good. Pressure putt by Tom Kite, so he's still only 2 out, even par for the day. Bernhard Langer at the 13th hole.
Rossi, what kind of shot does...
Shot of about 80 yards, David, maybe 90. Wind coming straight out of his left and slightly behind him. Hole's cut pretty deep in the green, though, so he has plenty of room.
This is the 12th hole.
Good shot.
Yep. You see the direction of the wind very clearly on that flag right now.
Well, he finally hit a green.
Yeah, that's right. So he did.
He's had some problems starting it.
Again,
left at 8.
There you see it. 1, 2, 3. Graham, O'Connor, and Stewart, Weibring, Lyle, Kite, O'Meara, Langer, and Peter Jacobsen just one more back, along with Jose Rivero of Spain. Played well today. He's finished, however, so he's not going to win it. Sandy Lyle's 3rd shot on the par 5 now.
He's right against the wind here. He's got a long shot to play.
Can you see if he made it, Ed?
Yes, he did. He's on the green on the back right side.
Okay, thank you.
Just off the edge.
Oh, yeah, we see it now. Now, what of Christie O'Connor? Where is he?
He's in the right rough. Not too bad a shot. His ball is in the short rough, and he's probably got about 135 yards to the hole.
Okay, and that'll be his 3rd shot, trying to get on in par situation.
Got a good clean lie, Ed?
Clean lie, but I don't think that it's a thick enough lie that he's going to have to worry about getting to the green.
Okay, a little interference out there on Ed's mic, but we've got Christie now, the age of 36. And remember, this is Christie O'Connor Jr., not the son of, but the nephew of the Christie O'Connor you have no doubt heard of, who was a Ryder Cup player and finished in the top 6 in the British Open, I believe, 7 times.
Nice man. A lot of fun to play golf with.
He could have putted a little bit better. Christie giving this one a good look over.
It's not the time to be very careless, and of course playing against the wind. Got to judge about your lies. They're going to come out running. Do you play it short? Do you try to carry it all the way back to where the pin is? Not that the pin's very far from the front of the green. Little punch type shot. Is that left?
Yeah, it's on the green. In shape to make a par there. After being in the rough with his tee shot and the rough with his 2nd shot on one of the most difficult holes on the golf course. Now David Graham in the rough at 13 on tape in this par 4 hole, 443 yards long.
I think that's number 12, ain't it, Rossi?
Yeah, that's not 13, that's 12. A little wrong information we had there, but we carry on at the British Open.
Back at Royal St. George's, Christy O'Connor Jr. now at the 14th. On in 3 on this par 5. Just one shot off the lead.
Get it, Christy.
A little harder, huh? So that left for the par. As on videotape, we watched D.A. Weibring on videotape, and that's been happening to him all day. That was for par. So David Graham for a birdie at the 12th. To go back to even. No. And Bernard Langer, also at the 12th hole, for a birdie. What kind of day it's been. Now, Tom Kite is 2 shots off the lead, his second into the 15th.
Ooh, he got a good bounce there, Jack. Good hard bounce. Come on.
It's right up on the right level. No, it's moving down now.
That just shows you what kind of putt that he has. A little up over the hill and then down toward the hole.
Back at the 14th. This is Lyle. 4th shot on this par 5. Chance for a birdie. Yes! Sandy has moved into a tie for the lead with David Graham. Now Christy O'Connor Jr. for par. Yes.
So, got a 4 and a 5 out of those 2 drives. That's as much as you can squeeze there.
So co-leaders now, David Graham, Sandy Lyle, and 1 shot behind them, Christy O'Connor Jr.
I think that got Sandy to just 2 over. Got our board up there so fast.
Now David Graham.
At the 13th tee.
All right, Bob Rosberg, I know you can see that one. And so can we. Just in that rough. As we go to Sandy Lyle.
Yes, Terry.
Sandy at the 15th tee.
And nicely in the fairway.
Beautiful drive there, Jack. Boy, if he starts coming, maybe Scalary at 18 hasn't been as active as they've been at a lot of Open championships. But if you get these 2 in the fight here, which they are now, just tied at 2 over, 1 stroke behind David Graham.
Sit down.
Well, he was saying hook, wasn't he?
Hook and sit, and he's really talking to it and shaking his hand there.
He's all right, huh? All right, that's the leaderboard at the moment. Bunched very tightly here. We're going to have a lot of action in the next hour. We'll be back with more exclusive coverage of the 1985 British Open Golf Championship after this commercial message and a word from our local station.
David Graham clings to a 1-stroke lead in the British Open Golf Championship. He's on the 13th hole in the light rough, par 4. 443 yards.
Right, ball. Be right.
Well, it's not wrong.
Stop.
Pretty good shot.
Good shot. Out of the rough, it has to run. He's going downwind. This is the last hole they're going to have where the wind's any kind of help. You can see it there, and it's actually one of the better par fours that you'll ever play. Line drive into the area. Those bunkers that you see in the middle of the fairway are not so much in play right now. Bob Rosberg is out there. Rossi, Bernard hit another fine drive.
Yes, his drive is perfect, David. The tough thing about this hole is I don't think you can land the ball in the green. I think you have to carry it short and let it bounce in. David did a nice-looking shot and carried it well short of the green, but just rolled onto the back.
10 golfers within 3 shots of each other as we near the end of the British Open. Longer's one of them. 2 shots out.
He spins the ball a lot. He might have a chance to stop it. I haven't seen anyone really come up close to the hole.
Yeah, he really spun it, David. Got a lot of club on the ball. But still, you just can't do it. That first bounce will kill you.
Did take a bit, though, on
That's
the second bounce.
That's as good as you could do, though.
Christy O'Connor, 1 shot out of the lead. Second shot at the 15th hole. It's a long par 4, 467 yards. 4, look out. Now it's on the left. Did he catch the bunker or not? I think he was short of the bunker on the other side of the hillock there.
Might be on that bank there, and if he is, he'll wish he was in the bunker.
Yeah. Now, remember, Sandy Lyle moved to within a stroke of the lead. Again, to remind you about the unusual sort of playoff they have now adopted for the British Open Golf Championship. It will not be sudden death, and it will not be tomorrow. It will be today, a 5-hole stroke play playoff. A little earlier, I spoke to Michael Bonalic, the secretary of the Royal and Ancient Golf Club of St. Andrews, about it. Let's get all the details.
I think that when you've got something like 35,000 people who come to the final day of a championship, stay here all day, and at the end of that day, which is a Sunday, you send them home without a result. Many of them are going to work the next morning, probably won't even know who's won it till they get home in the evening. That seems to me a sad way to have a climax to a championship.
Well, you, of course, are a purist in the game, having been one of the finest amateur players ever to play the game. There's one other thing that I wonder if it might bother you. We now have, of the 4 major championships, as we consider them, the Masters, the Open here, our Open, and the PGA, we have 3 different ways of determining a champion in the event they're even at the end of 72.
Well, at least they've all had to play the 72 holes to start off with. We thought of going to sudden death, but we felt the sudden death might favor one player more than another. For instance, if the first hole happened to be a dogleg, right to left, it might favor the player who draws the ball rather than the fellow who fades it. But over 5 holes, we reckon that would balance out the differences in the holes, and that's why we went to a multiple number of holes rather than a sudden death.
So, if there's a tie, it will be 5 holes, stroke play. Everybody involved in the playoff plays all 5, add up their score. Who's got the lowest score wins. Tom Kite, 2 behind the leader on the 16th tee. Hole number 16 at Royal St. George's, 165-yard par 3. Huge green.
Really needs a birdie to help himself some here, Jim.
Again, if you've just joined us, he was 4 shots back when the day began. In almost no time at all, it seemed, he had moved into a 2-shot lead in the championship, then had problems of his own, and now trails by 2. Videotape look at David Graham, the leader, at the 13th. Long birdie attempt.
He's putting down a ridge here. He's going to... Depends on which side of that ridge he gets on. The ball goes left and then back to the right. Not bad. Good distance there.
Bernhard Langer, as we return live to that same group. Langer, 2 shots out of the lead. After this one, they'll have 5 holes to play. And then maybe 5 more. Who knows?
The possibilities here are enormous, James.
Yep.
Might have to get a starting time for the playoff.
Yeah, that's right. British Open's one of the great events, isn't it?
If you love golf, you should come here at least once.
Near miss for Langer. The par will keep him at 3 over for the championship and 4 over on today's round, but still very, very close. Old man par is the winner here today, it looks like. Christy O'Connor, and he is on that bank. Tough shot, Dave.
Tough kind of shot, because you got to watch sticking your club in the ground. If the heel catches, you'll hit it fat into the left.
What a shot.
Fine shot there.
What a lovely shot by Christy O'Connor, but he'll need that one for the par. Big power plant way in the distance over there. So we come to David Graham needing this for the par.
He doesn't even know that plant's there right now.
No. Needs this for the par to stay in the lead. Otherwise, at least momentarily, he'll drop into a tie with Christy O'Connor and Sandy Lyle. But now we just hear a roar across the fairways, and we are told that's a birdie for Sandy Lyle. So it's Lyle and Graham tied for the lead if Graham makes this. Oh, dear.